For inside this tutorial, we go to discuss about wetin you need to do CSS plus the structure of CSS. So e dey important to say anytime wey you need to command your computer to do something for you go need to write am for text editor just like HTML. And since we don download and install our Sublime Text for inside HTML tutorial, we go just continue to dey use the Sublime Text. Before we continue, if you no get any knowledge of HTML, e go dey very difficult for you to follow along in this tutorial. So I recommend say make you learn HTML first inside this same YouTube channel before you go continue with CSS. So if you don watch my last HTML tutorial video, you go don dey familiar with this file because na wetin we do for inside our last HTML tutorial series be that. So if you just wan open your own, after you don open your text editor, you go just come to file here, then choose open file. So if you don choose open file, you go inside the folder where you save your last HTML file. So my own last HTML file na im be this inside HTML tutorial folder. So I go just click this one now like this, e don open. So for you to know say na the same file wey we do for inside our last HTML tutorial series, so I go just right click here now, say open in browser. Shey you see? So na wetin we do for inside our last HTML tutorial series be this. So before we talk about the structure of CSS, I go like tell you say we get three different ways wey we dey do CSS. We get inline type of styling. Remember say I tell you say everything about CSS na to style, na to make website beautiful. So we get inline styling, we get internal styling, and we get external styling. And now we go just first start with inline. So wetin I go do now be say I go just switch back to our HTML file, and then we go just practicalize the example of inline styling. So wetin be inline type of style? So this one na the way to beautify website directly inside our HTML tags using the style attributes. So wetin we go do now be say we go just practicalize the example of styling. And you go remember say I talk say we dey use style attribute to take style our website using inline approach. So I go just put style here. So the idea of wetin we wan do now be say we wan change the color of our website, the background color of our website. Wetin I mean be say if I switch back to our website now, you see say the background color of our website so na white. So wetin I go just do now be say I wan change the background color of this website to something like green. So I will just come back to our HTML file here, talk say background color green. Then I will just press Ctrl S to save this file, go back to our website, then reload it. Now you see say we don get green background for inside our website, so instead of the default white wey the website bin get. So the idea of inline styling be say we go dey write our command wey we wan take style our website directly inside the HTML tag wey we wan use. Another type of approach wey we dey use style our website na internal type of styling. So we go just come here inside the head tag, type style. Now e dey important to highlight say this style tag wey you see so na HTML tag, and na wetin dey give us the authority to style our website using internal type of styling. CSS dey very straightforward and direct. No mago-mago, no wuru-wuru. We just get selector. In front of the selector, we go just open curly bracket, close the curly bracket again. In between the curly bracket, we just get two things wey dey very particular to us: attributes and value. And na exactly the same way now we go represent am inside our HTML code. So if I go back to our HTML file now, wetin we go do now be say we go just talk say selector, and inside this selector we get attribute and value. So wetin you dey see here so like this na be the structure of our CSS. So wetin we wan do now be say we wan style the body of our website, but for it not to be confusing, I go just come here. Remember say we don put background color to be green for inside this body wey we use inline type of styling do. So I go just comot dis one like dis. So as I don comot dis one like dis, so I go just save our file, go back to our website, come reload am. You see say we don get dat default white back for inside here. We never change anything for the heading wey we put the color to be blue. Na why we still dey see the blue here. So we fit change dat one sef, we fit comot am. I go just come here come comot the heading now sef in fact. Now you see say the style wey dey inside our heading, dis our h1 tag wey we call CodeNPidgin na blue. So I go just come here, comot dis attribute entirely. You see say I don comot dis attribute so I go just save dis file again, go back to our website and reload our website. You see say dis our CodeNPidgin sef don turn the default black again. Now exactly wetin we do using the inline type of styling na im we wan do now using the internal type of styling. So I go just come back to our file like dis, say dis structure now na wetin we wan come reproduce. Now we wan style the body of our website, na im be say na body go become our selector. So wetin we wan style, we go target am. Dat target wey we dey make so na wetin dem dey call selector be dat. So because say na body we wan style now, na body go become our selector. So I go just come here talk say body, and I go open dis open and closing parenthesis. Inside dis parenthesis now, we go come have our attributes and value. Now the attribute be say we wan give am background color. So I go just talk say background color. I go talk say the background color na green. Shey you see now so. So dis structure wey we get here, wey be selector, we get our selector, so na our selector be dis wey be body. Our attribute na our attribute be dis wey be background color. And dis value na im be dis green wey we get here so. So everything wey we go dey do for inside CSS na dis structure na im e go dey take. So as I don represent am so like dis, I go just comot dis one. Okay, I go just leave am for the purpose of dis tutorial so dat we go just dey make reference to am. So I go save dis our file now, go back to our website, reload our website. You see say dis color now e don turn back to green. Shey you see? Now for it not to be confusing, so now I go change the color of dis one to yellow. Shey you see? We don get yellow here now like dis. So I go just save am like dis. So I go just press Ctrl S to save our file, go back to our website and reload the website. Now you just see say we don get yellow here so. Shey you see? As the color of the body of our website. Now we just come back here into our file. So wetin we go just do now be say we go change the color of dis CodeNPidgin from dat default black wey e dey so. Dis default black wey e dey so. What should we change dis color to? We go just change am to green. So we go just come here like dis, say h1 wey be our selector, opening and closing parenthesis. Then we go just talk say color. Inside dat color we go just give am green. We save dis file now, go back to our website and reload. You see say we don get green here like dis. Shey you see? Shey you see say we don change dis CodeNPidgin color to green. So the idea be say everything wey we fit do using our inline type of style, we fit do am inside internal type of styling. If I come back to our file like dis, so any type of style wey we wan give our website like dis, say we wan change the background, we wan change font, we wan underline, we wan do anything, na here e go dey inside dis style tag. But now you sef you go come begin dey imagine say how many things we wan put inside dis style tag before our code become messy. Na where external type of styling come in be dat. Say okay, instead of us to dey do everything inside one HTML file, what if we wan build website wey be say e dey very robust, e get multiple pages? Shey na like dis we go come dey put our CSS for inside our HTML? Dat one no go fresh. Na why e dey very important for us to keep things separately when we dey code for inside computer. So if you dey follow your computer talk, you always want to set A different from B. So wetin we go just do now be say we go create our external type of style wey we go use do exactly the same thing wey we use inline and internal do. So wetin I go just do be say I go just come here, clear this one off like this, so we no get any style for inside our website again. If I save this file now, go back to our website and reload our website, you see say everything don come back to normal. So to do our external type of styling, so I go just close this index.css file here, so that e no go dey confusing. To do our external type of styling now, I go just come here, say new file. You see say we don open new file now. So wetin I go do be say I go just come here, click save. So I wan save this file now. Remember say na CSS we dey do, e dey very direct. So we go just talk say name of the file dot css. So which name make I give am now? Make I just give am bioku.css. So we don get our bioku.css now. Remember say this css as e dey like this css file as e dey like this, e dey inside the same folder wey our index.html file dey, wey be the html tutorial folder. So you always want to keep everything wey you dey do when you dey build your website inside the same folder, so that e no go dey complicated for computer to locate all these files. So I go just save this file now. Now you see say we don get our bioku.css here. Wetin I go do be say I go just close this index.html file here. This one na another file entirely and we no need am. E go dey very complicated if you wan continue to dey talk about this one. So I go just close am. Now we don get our two files now, wey be our index.html and bioku.css. So we don set the partition like this. HTML dey your day, CSS dey your day. But you go know say these two files dey separately, although dem dey inside the same folder, but dem no dey talk to themselves. You see this HTML file as e dey like this, so we never link am to this CSS file. So these two files, this HTML and CSS file, dem dey separately on their own, dey form bus on their own. But now wetin we wan do be say for us to be able to use our CSS inside our HTML, we go gats link these two files together. And the way to link am together be say we go just come inside our HTML file, inside head we go type link. So I go just quickly explain this attribute wey dey here. So wetin this one mean be say, so this one wey dey here, so this red wey dey here, so na relate e dey mean, wey be relationship. So e dey inform this HTML file say this link e dey relate with a particular type of file wey be style sheet, and this type come tell us say okay na CSS file. Shey you understand? So these two attributes wey dey here, this rel and type wey dey here, e dey inform our HTML file, this file wey we dey, so this file wey I dey move, so e dey inform am say okay e wan relate with a particular type of file wey be CSS file. So we go just come here inside this href, come put the link of this bioku.css. Shey you see? But remember say this bioku.css e dey inside the same folder wey this index.html dey. So because say these two files dey inside the same folder, computer no go need go look elsewhere. So we go just put the name of that file inside this href, say bioku.css. So as e dey like this, we don already link these two files together. But remember say we never get anything inside our CSS file. So even if we save our HTML file like this, Ctrl S, go to our website, reload am, you see say nothing happen because we never get any type of style for inside our CSS file. So wetin I go do now be say I go just go back to our files, go to our bioku.css. Now inside this bioku.css, we go use the same structure wey be selector. Inside our selector now, we go get our attribute and value. There you see. So wetin we go do now be say make we first style our body. So I go just talk say selector, because in our body we wan style, we go just talk say body And the attribute of wetin we wan do now na say we wan change the background color, so we go just talk say background color, then we go give am which color should we give it now? Gray. So we go just save this information now, go back to our website and reload our website. You go see say this one don turn to gray. Shey you see the way wey I dey look at this gray now, e no too fresh, e resemble white. So I go just change this one to red, save am, go back to our website and reload am. Shey you see say we don get our red color as e dey like this. So wetin I go do now be say I go just go back to our file, come change the color of our CodeNPidgin heading wey be this one. Remember say this our CodeNPidgin heading, so e dey inside h1 tag. So wetin I go do be say I go just target am inside our CSS, put h1. Okay. I no want to dey switch from here like this, make I dey switch back and forth, e go dey a little confusing. So wetin I go just do be say I go first minimize this one, yeah, come carry this file like this come outside like this, so that we go get our windows side by side, the windows of our HTML and the window of our CSS side by side. So this one like this no go dey confusing. So wetin we wan do now be say we wan change the color of this our CodeNPidgin wey dey inside our h1 tag. And you remember as we dey do am, attribute and value. Now as we don finish everything wey we dey do for inside our body, so we go just come outside say h1 wey be our selector, open and closing parenthesis. Inside our opening and closing parenthesis we wan do color. Maybe you go don realize am now say when we wan do background color, we just talk say background color, give am red. When we wan do color, instead of text color, for some reasons they just talk say okay color. So no be text color, na just color. So I go just do color here, come put am blue. I save this information now, go back to our website, come reload our website. Now you see say we don get our blue color. We don change the color of our CodeNPidgin heading to blue. So CSS dey very simple and direct, na just one way thing wey just be for you to dey give value to properties. And na wetin we go dey do for this CSS tutorial be that. So again, we get inline type of styling, we get internal type of styling, and we get external type of styling. So as e be say we don talk about the structure of CSS and also the three different type of ways wey we dey take style our website. Na so e go be for this tutorial. I go see you for the next tutorial where we go dey start to dey color our website proper.